Hey there, this is Beth, and today we're going to talk about shutting things down after you do a reading or energy work. And it's kind of the same concept of grounding and centering before a reading, but instead of opening up, you're bringing it all back in. So if you work with, like, say, chakras when you're doing a reading and you open things up, when you shut it down, you shrink everything back and put it back in you. It's kind of like you reel in your tendrils that have been sent out into the universe and you bring them all back in. And if you do any form of journey working or path working, you're probably very familiar with this kind of shutting down, because before you come back, you want to make sure all the bits and pieces of you and your soul are back in your body. But we don't necessarily hear a lot about this kind of shutting it down, bringing it back in for smaller things such as spell casting, energy work, tarot, oracle card readings. Anywhere, anytime you are opening yourself up to receive energy, information, anything like that, you really want to take the time to disengage after you're done with it. You know, this untaps you from the universe so you can be grounded and not leak energy. Because I think the two main ones I see the most is people who are very ungrounded because they're always tapped in. And I lean towards if I'm doing several readings in a row, I have a difficult time untapping, and I like manually put, my hand and close my crown chakra and my third eye, throat, and bring the heart back in to where it's supposed to be. So it untaps you, it shrinks things back in and pulls it all back to your normal state of being. It's like you can thank the universe. I also like to, thank my guide who works with me when I do readings. Bring my chakras back to normal and then ground and center again. It's kind of like my grounding ritual. It's backwards though, from when I ground and center to do something. Because you don't want to walk around in your life with your feet off the ground, being really ungrounded, because it's not a healthy way to live your life. And being ungrounded tends to make one scattered, more flighty, not as rooted. Well, of course, you're not rooted, so you're not making choices quite the same way as you would if you were grounded. And it can just affect a lot of aspects of you if you just kind of remain in that hazy daisy energy high that can come with being tapped in. And that high is not what you're looking for. You're looking for a nice steady feel to your life, not when woo, I feel floaty and wonderful. And not that you're not going to feel wonderful grounded, you're just going to feel a different kind of wonderful that makes it easier to tap in to things for the everyday and not solely on an energetic level. And you can move through these things, back and forth in your daily life of tapping in and untapping if you so desire. Sometimes you don't even really have to tap in to connect with things such as guides, but make sure when you are doing the energy work to untap and bring it all back in, because you don't want that ungroundedness. And the second one you see a lot is leaking chakras or leaking energy. And that's where people feel tired after they do a reading for the next day or so. They'll be like, I'm so tired. How do you do so many readings? I've been asked this before. And I shut it down. I make sure I untap, because I get really ungrounded when I do, I do card pulls in a couple of Facebook groups. And that can be a lot of card pulls. And so, by the time I'm done doing that, it's very much making sure I have shut down. So when I'm not leaking energy into, I'm not ungrounded. And also this process of shutting down is going to disengage you, especially when you're doing readings or healing work or anything where you're touching someone else's energy. It's like, or something. Okay. It's like, how do I do, I don't know how to do this. Yeah, it's like this space between here, it's like you're touching this person's energy. And if you don't engage, you're going to continue touching that person's energy. It's like this, yeah. But if you pull back from it and go back into yourself, then you're both in your normal states. So what can happen is someone who does energy work or readings, when you don't disengage from this person, you can start being affected by their emotions or what they're feeling. All that kind of stuff can kind of filter back into you, and you may feel weird and like you're having emotions that necessarily are not yours. And that's because you're still touching this person's energy. So you got to disengage from that. So there's a variety of reasons that, are very good to make sure you shut everything down and get yourself back to your normal state of being, that you go about your everyday life, because we don't need to be tapped in all the time. You're never untapped, but there's consciously tuning into things and then just going about your daily life and going, oh yeah, guide's telling me this or whatever's telling me that. There's a difference between paying attention to signs and guides and consciously touching or channeling energy. So make sure to shut it down. It really feels a lot better, and I know when I don't consciously make the effort to do it, I notice the difference. So give it a try and see how it feels, especially if you feel really ungrounded or tired. And make sure you're disengaging from that person's energy. That's where it's really nice when you work via a spirit guide or whomever you work with, because they're like an intermediary for you. So it's like when I work with Ona, she touches their energy and then it kind of filters through her. It's how I imagine it, at least. Ona might see it differently. But there's kind of a third person there. If I could make my pencil levitate, I'd levitate it for you. Not that good. But, so, there's differences and stuff like that. And I've noticed too, working with the guide, you will get less tired because she is definitely a buffer, and you don't get hit as hard with other people's emotions and all that kind of stuff. And I think too, that's a lot of times when people do feel drained too, is that even if you have kind of restored your normal, you're not tapped in, but you haven't stopped engaging with someone's energy, they can kind of siphon off your energy, same as you're kind of siphoning their emotive energy or even their energy. And who wants to go around, tapped into someone for the rest of their life? Well, not rest of their life, but, for however long it takes for that entanglement to disperse. So take the time after energy work, after readings, take the same amount of effort and time to shut it down as you would to get clear to read or do the energy work. And that is all today. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye.